Okay, so we are hopping right back into the next red zone stage here for the superhero celebration. This is stage 2 versus Android 19 and Android 20. Nothing too overwhelming. Again, like this one wasn't bad at all. Like it's a double phaser, but the no item run is definitely something that shouldn't be too bad. Like I said, I just hopped right in right after doing stage 1. Actually, that's a lie, because this is my second try doing this one, because the first try, I tried doing the strategy that Minato did, where he had like AGL Kid Gohan, STR Ultimate Gohan, and unfortunately it just didn't work for me. That's not to say it couldn't work, but my Kid Gohan is only 69%, while his is rainbowed, so a little bit of a different setup, but we're just basically copying and pasting the team we did for the last build. If you guys haven't noticed, what I do, for every like red zone, the feeler team is the movie hero team with Kid Goku and Android 8, just because that rotation is just capable of just destroying everything, right? Like, I never feel like I'm in danger with those two on the same rotation, just because Android 8 in slot 1, or Hachan, whatever you want to call him, is just doing so much defensively to the point where you just never feel like you're in danger. But here we are. What is kind of tricky about this one in specific is the LR gods are kind of at a disadvantage against Dr. Gero or Android 20, whatever you want to call him, just because the type disadvantage obviously is a big deal. But what we're trying to do is counter that with the guard that they have, and what I could do is run like a Gamma 1, but I'm like, let me just double down on the gods, let me do what I know, and that is to do it like that. So the strategy I'm going to implement is we have Kid Goku right there because he's type advantage, and then we're going to float Hachan off on the next rotation, try and make sure he doesn't take too much damage, and then we'll go ahead and rotate him with Kid Goku. Usually the failsafe that I have with this team is the fact that we have the Carnival Goku Revival. That's really kind of like the like I said, the failsafe, like where if it hits the fan, we know that we can get that revival with Carnival Goku and all will be well. Nothing too drastic will go down, and we can just go ahead and slap it up. But having Android 8 around is just so big for this Kid Goku. So these beginning phases, like getting warmed up, getting the stacks going, it's unfortunate that we couldn't get that rotation going right away, because if we had that rotation going right away, we would have nothing to worry about. And now we are in this situation on the next turn where this, like, when people try and tell you, look you dead on and say that the Super Saiyan 4s and the Super Saiyan gods are like not good units anymore, this is the situation where they're going to tell you they're not good anymore, because turn 3 is where they can be caught, right? Because one of them, I believe, has to go in slot 1 on the setup that I'm running, and when that happens, we have to kind of risk not having guard. But we are lucky to the point where we do have a int unit here, so it won't be too bad. Yeah, and the defense just doesn't build up high enough to the point where, you can reliably tank stuff like that. But here we go. We got lucky with orbs, so we will get that guaranteed double super. A triple super is likely, but not guaranteed, because I did go 30 additional on my LR Super Saiyan 4s. So I think if I could go back in time, I bought 3 copies of the Super Saiyan 4s during Tanabata to rainbow them, just because Super Saiyan 4 Gogeta's a Chad. I think what I should have done, maybe looking back on it, is gotten another dupe for the gods and not played like with I should have used my head instead of my heart. And it probably would have worked out better for me. But next time we see Hachan, he will be with Kid Goku, so we'll have that tank in our back pocket. And on the next rotation, we do have like 2 really good defensive units with Piccolo as well as Carnival Goku. So that'll kind of go ahead and get things set up. This isn't really a guide for global players, unfortunately. It's just to show off the no item run. If this was a how to complete more video, it would be like, if you have the Gammas, use them, because they're one of the best rotations in the game. If you have the new Piccolo, go ahead and bring him in here. But unfortunately, I do not have that Piccolo, so we kind of got to work with what we got. And you guys can see right here is where we kind of get into a little bit of a situation, right, where we don't have exactly what we need. So this is where things get interesting, right? What I should do, and I'm not being smart right here, unless maybe I do use my head, I don't know. Nah, come on, dude, use your head. He's going to absorb it. You can't use this. Don't wait. Yeah, so what I should have done is use the active skill right here, because in the next phase, Dro and 19 can just beat it, right? Like, they can just absorb it, and they take it and heal from it. So we had to kind of think about that, and, I guess I just wasn't using my head, because I was just thinking about getting to the next phase. But right now, what I'm thinking is I have Carnival Goku's Revival in my back pocket, so if we die on this turn, that's ideal, because then his guard will be permanent. But I want to say that Kid Goku is just too much of a beast, and he just does too much damage, right? So he doesn't even have Android 8 around, and he's just going crazy. He's using that power pole and just going stupid. So boom, we got a double super right here. He did a crit on the last one, does another crit right there, and just takes out Dr. Gero. So Now we're in this little bit of a predicament where we're doubled up on the 4-year units, the 7-year units rather, and we have to just go ahead and transform across the board, right? And again, akin to what I was talking about earlier, where, okay, so what I need to do is put the rainbow one in the front, and then transform all 3 of the units, and then nullify, double nullify, yeah, so I'm sure that's what I'm going to do, but we're going to double nullify these attacks, and we cannot do these supers because even though, despite them being guaranteed crits, they don't have a guaranteed chance to hit. So we kind of get caught in this situation where we just can't do the damage that we need to do because, like, think about it. Like, these are 3 of the hardest hitting attacks in the game still, these active skills from the Super Saiyan 4s and the Super Saiyan Gods. And when we can't do those, it just takes away a huge part of the game. And so what we kind of have to do to counter that is run the triple nullification setup here, where we have guaranteed supers across the, or guaranteed nullifications across the board. So LR Super Saiyan 4 Gogeta is not going to get hit, and neither are the LR Super Saiyan Gods on the end. So what we're relying on at this point is to nullify a super that they would do, and then dodge the rest of them, right? Because we're getting triple nullification here, and then we also need to make sure that we have some dodges to make sure we take no damage. So in theory, if the Gods dodged every attack, this would be a 0 damage turn, because we got really lucky with the hit spread, where in slot 2 and slot 3, we got the nullification. So there's no way that the other 2 units could take damage, and the Gods triple supering makes them as good defensively as a lot of units in the game, right? Obviously not going to just like tank Cell Max or anything like that, but if we want to talk about the most ideal situation that we could get for them, it's this right here. So we're not getting the dodges, but the triple super did get them to where they needed to be for double digits, right? So now we're, we have Gogeta at type disadvantage, but he is super effective, so we do have 7.45 million, and then a guaranteed nullification, and a decent chance at a double super, but nothing guaranteed. We obviously do get it, so 5.6. We get the nullification, and now his defense has raised up twice. So we're looking good on that regard. But it's not for me. It's not him. It's not about him doing the damage at this point now that he's already got the 18 key. It's about the nullification, and then it's the same thing with the LR Gods right here. Obviously could hit a bit harder if they were linked up with themselves, but 7 million is more than enough for what I'm looking for in this stage. Get the nullification going, and now we have the rotation of Android 8 and Hotchan and Kid Goku coming up, and that'll kind of just go ahead and ice it away for us defensively, so we don't really have much to worry about. Unfortunately, again, we can't do the active skills on these units, so they can't really do anything, but we do have Piccolo. We have like a really good defensive rotation right here, where we can go ahead and grab these orbs on the left with Hotchan, and then we'll make sure we get the 7 orbs for Kid Goku. So now we have the additional damage reduction for everybody, and then more STR orbs for Piccolo. We're healing up a decent bit. We have Carnival Goku on the next rotation. Defensively, we're just looking good, right? So whatever these guys do, I want to say this is double digits, because this is just like a prime example of what Hotchan does, right? So boom, yeah, you can't hurt him, right? Like, if Cell Max can't hurt him, you're not hurting him, I promise. Like, type advantage too, like what are you supposed to do? So 1.9 mil, but again, he is literally just all defense. Now we got Kid Goku hitting a little bit harder, 7.3 mil, and a good chance that he does 2 supers. We get decent amount of damage in, and he'll just kind of go ahead and do his business. A crit, and then an 8 million super attack. This Kid Goku, I think once he's out on global, like, people will understand, right? Like, they'll be like, okay, I get it now. Like, it's you could really argue that this guy is the best TUR in the game. Like, it's him or Gamma 1, right? I think that's like a pretty clear-cut thing. I don't think Gamma 2 is better than Goku, unfortunately, but Gamma 1 I definitely would say is like right there. If he's not it's like if he's not the best. Oh yeah, so here we go. We have the Carnival Goku active skill. And so we can do the Carnival Goku active skill, because that's just the blast, right? So he's going to put him under 6 feet under. And then if he had literally just done a little bit more damage, we'd be fine. But what I'm thinking about at this point is basically this is a guaranteed win, because we have the revival. So whatever he does right here, it doesn't matter. And literally all we have to do is breathe on this 19 and 20, and they're done. So if these guys go ahead and dodge, which they do on both attacks, that's GG, and that's another no item run down. So we are now 26 for 26 on red zone no items. I would have to imagine there's more stages coming for this, but let me know what you guys did down below to beat this. I'm sure a lot of you guys are using your LR Piccolos and LR Gohans, but I was not so lucky to get them. But, we move. There's still a lot of time left to get them. But let me know what you guys think down below. Don't forget to leave a like if you did enjoy, and subscribe if you are new, so you don't miss out on any of the Red Zone Dokkan content I post, whatever you want to call it. Thank you guys for watching. Your support means the world to me. Have a great day, and I'm out.